I don't like napping. But the thing about sleepers is that you have these 4 stages. The first 2 are light sleep and the second 2 are really deep sleep.
Yeah.
And if you wake up during your deep sleep stages, that's when you feel a little groggy.
Yes.
Because your brain's in those low waves. It's trying to take a rest, trying to take some time out for itself. Having a nap. It is best to have a 10 to 20 minute nap or 90 minutes, right? Because 10 to 20 minutes, you're still in those first 2 stages, those light sleep stages. So when you wake up, you feel refreshed. And it's actually really good if you want to enhance your attention, if you want to better your mood. Naps are really good for that.
Yeah.
Take a 90-minute nap, and then you've gone through all the 4 stages, and you're back to the first stage. Because 90 minutes is a full cycle of sleep.
I mean, I gotta love a good nap. Sometimes when you're just fed up with life, you're like, that's it. I'm having a nap.
I don't know if I've ever actually had a nap unless I was 4. I just like sleeping at night, and then I wake up, I'm like, cool, ready to do the day. Sleep's really good for you, you know? I feel like a lot of people don't get those full 8 hours as adolescents and young adults.
Oh, yeah. Look.
Because we get busy. And we don't want us like to be busy.
Need more sleep longer. We get cold lazy. It's like, no.
And like,
our body actually wants us to do this.
You're supposed to sleep later in the morning and go to bed later at night, you know?
Yeah.
But we're forced to wake up at crazy hours of the morning to go to school or to go to uni or to do classes.
And then we're tired and then we don't learn as well. Sleep phase shift, where the hormones that tell you to go to sleep actually get released like 2 hours after or whatever. Like, so when you're a kid, you're like, oh yeah, let's go to sleep at like 8 o'clock. And then when you're like a teenager, like, oh, I want to stay up until like 11.
That was very good impression.
Yeah, because my voice is broke at that
Yeah.
point. Yeah. Some schools that actually do account for that and start
There are
later.
some schools in other like European countries that do that, and then they have better results.
Yeah. So get on
Also, Finland doesn't have homework, or they have minimal homework, and they have 1 standardized tests, whereas we have like a billion in this system.
Stress that is caused by tests.
Yeah, it's stupid.
It poses the question: how can you get by without tests? Even do stuff.
Well, that's why we should go to Finland.
Yeah.
Next road trip is to Finland.
Yeah.
We'll probably have to do like a GoFundMe or something. A GoFundMe for time. Give me a time so I can go to Finland.
Yeah, nice. So I was at the Chiro.
The Chiro.
Chiropractor.
Oh.
You know, it's sort of like a massage place, but like
they crack your bones,
actually,
don't you?
Yeah. Actually,
I hate people touching me.
Uncomfortable at the time, but then they get into place and it's just amazing. Anyway,
I guess as a dancer, that's pretty helpful.
yeah, she was like, so I was reading this thing and this stuff, sleep is really messed up in our society because we don't like value it enough. First of all, we're having like unnecessary shift work. For example, railway crossings, we want them to be done at night, but then we're making those people obviously do shift work, but it could be done in the day. It's more convenient for everyone else, but it's like, well, if we actually knew that was like causing cancer in these people, we'd still be making them do that. Apparently, according to one study, sleep deprivation or working shift work causes cancer more than smoking.
It's not that it causes it, it's that it makes you more vulnerable to it, right?
Yeah. Because then your like immunity is low and
and your mental health's low as well.
It's a bit country.
Oh, this is a jam.
Oh my goodness. Ever been walking down the street or maybe through uni and someone random smiles at you?
I'm usually that person who's the smiler.
Okay. Why do you do that?
And then also it's really funny to watch their reactions. Because you're like, and they'll like they're trying to smile.
They're so
funny.
confused.
Also, like, if I'm happy, I want to show my emotions.
Yeah.
So how dare people try and limit me.
Yeah.
Let me smile.
Let me smile at randoms.
Oh, power to the people. I think it's good too.
I think it's good.
Do you smile at randoms or?
Look, maybe sometimes when you're like by yourself or something and you just remember something really funny.
Oh yeah, so
like
true.
something that we said on Carpool Conversation.
Yeah. Oh.
You just can't help but laugh. And then someone walked past thinking that I'm smiling at them. Like, well, you know what? This got even funnier because you did a weird face. Small acts of kindness, such as smiling. I feel like in this world we're all just like caught up with ourselves and like sort of narcissistic.
If you do something good, you feel good about that doing something good. That person feels good about you doing that good. So then they're going to do good. They're going to feel good for doing that good, and that person's going to feel good for them doing that good. And then that video,
movie. Pass it on. Keep it forward. Pass it forward. Pay it forward. I read a list of small acts of kindness and it was like plant to plant. I guess so.
that improves air quality.
Because that, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Nice. They give you oxygen, so it's obviously a very nice kindness you do. The what is it? The gift of life.
When there's more pollution in the atmosphere, the actual like vegetables that we grow have less
Nutrients.
eating food that is less nutritious.
On the news, speaking of vegetables,
Yeah.
that in America, scurvy is coming back.
Yeah.
That used to get in oceans for not eating enough vitamin C. It hasn't been around for ages, and it's coming back because kids and adults are not eating enough fruits and vegetables.
Like babies are getting vitamin D deficiencies because we are so sun protective that we actually don't go out a healthy amount anymore. Balance between skin cancer and actually having a healthy amount of vitamin D.
Yeah, I mean the sun. If you go out in the sun, it's not like, oh bam, skin cancer. It depends on your exposure. Wearing long sleeves, some sunnies, so that you have less exposure, but you're still getting vitamin D. Like clothes don't protect you from all of the sun, just harsh sun. Slip, slop, slap. But use sunscreen. That's not toxic to the ocean. They actually bleach coral.
Oh, snap.
So you just gotta be careful.
I think it's easier to do these things when you sort of have empathy for other people. Empathy is so powerful.
That day old, day in, putting yourself in their shoes.
Yeah.
Right? And I think there is a massive difference between empathy and sympathy. Empathy is feeling with that person. Sympathy is feeling beside that person. They're there. Empathy, there's no judgment. Sympathy, sometimes you let your judgment get in your way.
Sympathy is where you say, well, at least you're still alive.
Because that's not helpful.
Whatever. Like, you don't actually care about their situation.
It's hard because you don't realise that that's just not helpful for someone who's not feeling in the right head.
Really, empathy is like you care for them and just being there is sometimes enough.
Those people want to be heard when they're feeling down. They just want someone there who will listen. You don't need to give advice. Sometimes that's the worst thing you can do, even though that's the only thing you want to do. Like thinking about the other person in that time and in that space.
There's two types of empathy, affective and cognitive. One is where you actually feel the same feeling as the other person, and one is when you take the perspective of the other person. Like obviously both are important. The one-on-one situation, then you have to feel something inside yourself of that feeling to really connect with that person. So taking this perspective is what's really powerful because you don't have to put like all of your emotion into it. But like, you know, people are making policy decisions and they're taking the perspective of lots of different people, then they're gonna have a better decision made.
This is my favourite song of all time.
Wow, we hit the jackpot. It actually is cloudy.
When it's cold outside,
It's freezing.
and make me feel this way, my girl. Talking about my girl, my girl. Alright, I gotta go to class. That was a fight.
That's our fight?
Bye.
Bye.